Rising, Virgo Sun, Moon, and Venus signs. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. We're going to read your tarot cards here today. As always, these are general messages here on YouTube. So it's up to you to come into this reading with an open heart, an open mind, and take away only what resonates. Anything that feels strange or foreign, doesn't seem to resonate or fit your circumstance, scenario, release it. Let those messages go. Assume they're going out to someone else who needs to hear them or wants to hear them. You're accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. All right, let's try and have some fun, though. Let's get you some insightful messages. Just heads up, FYI, this is going to be catered more towards Virgo rising. So highly encourage you to check out your rising sign in addition to just your sun sign. But that is entirely up to you. And anyone and everyone is welcome in this reading. I am going to be throwing some astrology at you, and so that's why it's specifically catered more towards the Virgo risings, but this may resonate for you, so stick around and see, right? All right, so bottom of your deck, Six of Wands. Ooh, in your power. This is marching through the parade triumphantly, garnering a lot of recognition and attention, and feeling a very strong sense of pride, I'm hearing encouragement, but what I'm trying to say is achievement, a strong sense of achievement. But yeah, maybe you're getting encouraged a lot by those around you. I don't know why that word, it wanted to come out, even though it felt kind of strange to me. But anyway, all right. So let's see. Let's start off with something that is very lighthearted and good to hear. There's a new moon in Taurus happening this week. So because Taurus is a fellow earth sign, that is going to make a harmonious or helpful connection to, especially to your house of self, your house of ego and identity for my Virgo risings. But either way, if you are a sun sign Virgo, something about this new moon is going to be beneficial to you. It's like a nice little cozy aspect. The moon likes to be in the sign of Taurus. In astrology, it's what we call exaltation. So it has everything it needs to get by and to do its job efficiently. So for everyone, whether you're a Virgo or not, it's a great time to plant the seeds or get goal-oriented in things regarding money and finances. That's very strongly connected to all the earth signs, but especially Taurus. And also the idea of loving oneself more, putting a lot more... I'm wanting to say effort, but into loving yourself more, if that makes sense. So it's a very positive aspect. It's a positive new moon. It has some really nice things going for it already. So it's a nice time to enjoy that and also get more goal-oriented, make a practical plan, take some practical steps to commit to those areas of life a little bit more if you have been slacking, right? New moon manifestations are very big, obviously, for that reason. And also in Taurus, we have the sun. So a key area and focus of your life, specifically for my Virgo risings, is going to be your 9th house, which has to do with sort of your credo, your belief system. It has a lot to do with higher education, expansion and exploration of the mind, as well as physical travel, long distance travel. So let's start there. You have an amazing card coming up with the Empress, a great money card too. This is also the planet card representing Venus, as we can see right there in the little heart. So literally reinforcing everything I just told you. This is a money card, and it's also the Empress commands a lot of respect from her followers. So if 9th house has a lot to do with your relationship in society, among groups of people, what do you bring to the table, and do you believe in yourself? Do you have the confidence to carry yourself with sort of that poise, that swagger? That's sort of what I see coming in here. This is a very strong card. I like it. You may be putting a lot of time and effort into education, into concepts of the mind, more intellectually driven work. It's also the house of publishing for anyone writing a book or doing anything with literature. But I would say if that's the case, you're sitting on a lot of potential in terms of garnering a lot of money and also probably attention. What's interesting to me, though, is this area of life which is going to have a focus, especially when the sun is in Gemini, which is towards the mid to end of the month. Planet Mercury, the mind, and planet Venus, the heart and money, is moving into the sign of Gemini, and the tarot card you have there is fear. So what about this public recognition scares you? Are you not comfortable being in the limelight, Virgo? That, for some of you, that would make a lot of sense. Maybe you feel more comfort in serving the one who is in the limelight. But that in itself is a beautiful gift and an opportunity. The universe wants you to sort of flex that muscle of, no, like you're getting the attention this month. It's not about the other. It's not about who you're serving. In a sense, this is about being self-serving. And with this card, it's not saying in a selfish way. The Empress is not selfish at all. But by default, because she has such a big heart and cares so much, again, about herself, about nature, about her job, about all those things, generally speaking, she's held in very high regard. And so with that, of course, there's going to be a little bit of praise and attention. With Venus transiting your 10th house, which is, again, public image, long-term career goals, Venus is a sign of money, of pleasure, of luxury, really, very much associated with the Empress. So to me, something about the tarot cards and the planets I'm factoring with the astrology, she's making her way towards something bigger, but I guess I'm asking you individually, everybody watching this, what about this scares you? And where are you telling yourself false thoughts or false beliefs? Typically with the Eight of Swords, swords representing our mind, our thoughts, our belief system, because they're pointed down, I frequently relate this to, okay, well, they're not necessarily high vibing. They're not necessarily like, yeah, life is good. Even though I think the universe is like, it is though. Where's the disconnect for you? Where are you not seeing this? This can just be a card of being shy. Ultimately, the message to this is being able to step through fear. That circle of swords, it's sort of become your mental prison, your trap of, again, being afraid or timid or wanting to do something but telling yourself you can't for a multitude of reasons, lacking self-worth. I think there's going to be a shift, but I think part of, this is very important, part of your destiny, with the North Node sitting in the same house where the card of fear is showing up, this year more than ever, the universe is trying to break you of that habit of maybe your default not being in the spotlight, right? Passing the mic to someone else, so to say. There's no drop mic here. Or maybe in the badass sense there is. This is you in the limelight. I don't know how else to say it. And again, with that, where are you telling yourself or blocking your blessings or telling yourself you don't deserve it or you're not ready? Because I would just argue this could be a fantastic opportunity. So why are you talking yourself out of it? And I mean, certainly you have free will, but more or less with Venus and Mercury in that 10th house, the activity within your professional life, it's absolutely going to increase, but I would argue in a positive manner. For my Virgo risings, your houses of money, the rulership of those individual houses, 2, 6, and 10, are ruled by air signs. So communication, your skills as using language. I'm hearing the word linguistics. Is that the right term? Ooh, that was a ding. Yes, your language skills, your personality, your ability to be personal and connect with large groups of people as well as one-to-one. That has served you very much in getting to where you are now. But now I just keep getting this idea of it's time to step forward, and I don't even know how to encapsulate this in the sentence here. The amount of attention you've been pushing off to others, again, in a very beautiful, nurturing way, now it's time to serve that back to yourself. Gemini, it's that duality within us. So with Gemini as your 10th house, there's something about that information needs to come back to you. I'm almost getting this in metaphor, the idea of like a life coach, of you being that person who's like, all right, let's get your life together, and I believe in you, and here's what we should do, and this and that. Are you doing that to yourself? And if you've been lacking, where is it time to invest more in your own thoughts, your own ideas, your own beliefs? This is a very positive spread so far. Just there's something here that I'm wanting to call to your attention, because this is a card that says, "Oop, something's wrong," And again, what's great about this card is that, and this is going to sound harsh, but I mean it in a compassionate way. You've put yourself here. These are your own thoughts that are holding you back. This is not necessarily what others think of you. In fact, it's not. This is the self-made prison. So you have every ability to get yourself out of this just negative headspace. Maybe just this week it's showing up as, a little bit of indecision or a little bit of fear creeping in, which you're human. Of course that's going to happen. But you have big things coming in. So I think this is the universe's final push to you to power of positivity is going to help you, because there's going to be much more of a focus of your public image, you being out in the world versus staying in your private life, staying in the shadows. It's only going to get bigger from here, so prepare yourself. Get ready for that. Maybe you're going to take some sort of class or course that helps you build your confidence. Maybe you yourself are going to see a life coach, something like that. I mean, you're already watching tarot reading. That's one step away from a life coach, I suppose. All right, so there's going to be a lot more action in your friends group this week, especially if you have a close friend who is an Aquarius. You guys may go on a lot of there's a lot of energy there. So it could be something very physically active with Mars there. Mars is kind of like my little athlete. If not that, I suppose it could also be saying watch your temper, especially with an Aquarius. And this is more a friend versus a family member or a lover. But you can choose to view it through any lens you want. And there also may be a friend who reaches out to you because they need your healing. They need your... It's ironic. It's like they need you to talk them out of a difficult place. And the irony is you need that from someone else too. I think you both help to validate each other as human beings and as worthy of love. So yeah, I see you having a close connection or a close counterpart with a friend this week that really comes to the forefront. And what's coming in there is a great sense of healing. This is a very divine timing card. The light is shining upon you guys to possibly merge something or heal something. If there has been a fight or an argument with a friend, healing is coming in there. So that's great. Let's talk about dating. So Jupiter is about to enter your 7th house. So if you are currently in a close and committed partnership, that is only going to expand for the better with Jupiter entering there. It's a very lucky, fortuitous planet. It's buoyant, it's fun, it's associated with children. So sometimes when Jupiter transits houses of close collaborations and partnership, it can introduce the idea of children. You have Knight of Wands, so the Knight of Action. With this, you will see forward progress, you will see sparks, you will see passion. Not always the most committed, so it's not necessarily saying that this is someone who's going to lock it down this week in terms of marriage, but there's reason to get excited about this, is what I would say in terms of continuing long-term partnerships and contracts right now. There may be a newfound burst of excitement or creativity or energy. It's like lighting a fire under you. There's something where it's like you just want to spring ahead and move forward on it. So, and this is very, it could be viewed in a very sexual way too. Mars is sort of going to be trining, making a happy aspect or a helping, harmonious aspect to your long-term partnerships. So Mars being the planet that rules over sex and passion, that could correlate with this Knight of Wands in a very positive way. Just watch the codependency or the attachment factor that you may project onto this person, male or female, because they desire freedom. That's very important. In order to fuel their fire and stay interested and stay curious and intrigued, this person moves around a lot. This is my traveling night, right? So not to say he or she doesn't have a lot of love and passion to give, but it's not necessarily stable. It's a mutable sign, very connected to Sagittarius. So little spurts of romance here and there, great, absolutely. If you're looking for long-term with this one, maybe wait till it matures a little bit. It's not to say he or she won't become the King of Wands, but right now it's a little bit sporadic, is how I would say that. It's possible if you're in a connection and dating, you may travel together. There may be an opportunity to travel. If you are single and looking or in the very, very early stages of dating, awesome. That looks great. This is a great card of socialization. I believe it is a card indicating Mercury in Cancer. So Mercury being our communications, our thoughts, our ideas being shared in Cancer, a very emotionally powerful way. Talking about our emotions, talking about our feelings. Now with this, there's 3 people here, right? It's not the 2 of Cups. So I think it could indicate seeing what's out there, casting a line out and seeing if you get a few bites on it. I don't necessarily think this is saying you're going to lock it down to be exclusive. But if you've been seeing one person and there's interest there, I would say this is a card of yes, lighthearted. It will probably continue in a positive way. I also think this is frequently a card saying that you probably have someone in your friends group who's crushing on you. Whether you're interested in them or not, that's a whole other story. But this is like, yeah, love is in the air. There's vibes around you. So if you're looking for it, you just might find it. Very positive card, Virgo. We like that, right? Awesome. I'm so happy when Virgos get good love readings. I know you guys have had a tricky last couple months/years, depending on your own personal chart, but yeah, I do see you guys may have had an issue, and to be honest, I feel like this is closing out. I feel like my Virgos romantically dealt with a karmic partner in very recent months, or possibly the last year, where you kept waiting for it to reach some sort of crescendo where it was official, or it was exclusive, or this person proposed to you. And more or less, I think this was something you guys were maybe arguing about, or grappling with, or internally you were feeling very conflicted, because I want this, but they don't seem to want it, but why am I so attached to them? I think a lot of you learned a harsh but necessary lesson of, how do I want to phrase this? being very upfront with what you desire in a relationship and not holding back for the sake of not making that other person uncomfortable or scaring them away. I think at this point you understand you have nothing to lose, right? If you're someone who very much desires marriage and children and living together and all this, pick your moment, maybe not share that all on the first date, but you have no reason not to express that sooner than later in the relationship, because you're going to weed out who isn't meant for you. I don't think this is currently what's happening. I think this is a karmic lesson you are now implementing the very important lessons of. At one point, I think you were very stuck in relationships, but there's some sort of new, again, this Jupiter energy. It feels so great. It feels so buoyant and enthusiastic and ready to get out there again. You're now understanding that it's not worth fighting for if this person doesn't desire the same things you want. It's like choosing your battles wisely. You can lust after this person who's like, listen, I'm never going to marry you, but we can we can be friends with benefits. If morally you're not on the same page with that, and some of you might be, right? I'm just saying, if your ethics, your moral code, your principle says, no, marriage really is important to me, you're choosing not to fight a battle with someone who you just simply have different desires. What's great about this, what I'm getting to, this is the happy message of all that, because that's tricky, right? When you go through those karmic relationships, my goodness, do they serve us in the long run? But when you're going through it, it's awful. It's the worst feeling ever, right? Where this is headed is when you start to look and put more time and effort into relationships where you see potential, you see the gold coin in that person, not on the superficial, oh, they're cute, but in the more spiritual, internal, we want and desire the same things. It's like you do a 180 in what you're willing to accept now in your love life, because now you're the empress, right? When you do a 180, an offer comes to you with great ease. You've already done the fight. Battle of the wits, however you want to say it. Battle of the wills, really. Knight of Wands. When you tell the universe, I'm not going to chase people who are always running from me, because again, there's this newfound self-respect where I'm going to release control. If they bolt and go, well, they were never meant for me. So when you start looking for people with, again, the same potential and desire of what you guys want in your future, that's when this new opportunity presents itself, and there's an ease to it. It's like, oh, here you go. Do you want this? You're like, yes, I do. That's exactly what I've been looking for. Anyway, something to look forward to that is coming up in your 8th house. So possibly something via a business connection could come about. I don't know why this is coming through, but for some of you, pregnancy happens before marriage, which was neither here nor there to me. I'm just posing the idea. Because you do have sort of a good amount of kind of sexual energy coming through here too. So again, everybody's on a different page in terms of what they want in their path, and that's cool. I'm not here to comment on that. But if you are someone who wants to do the marriage before the kids thing, that might be a struggle. Or it could just be saying you may connect. Okay, I think this is more the message. A lot of you may connect with someone who is a single parent. Or if that is you, then great, because it seems like there's great potential for those two to come together. I do think your sex life is going to increase. I think there's new potential being shown in your 8th house. Typically 8th house is more sex for the purpose of merging and creation, aka a family. 5th house is more sort of sex in terms of like pleasure and leisure and, enjoyment, if you will, right? It's less formalized because you're not in contract with anyone yet. Spiritual contract, marriage contract, etc. However, you have a great card showing up there, so hey, I'm going to say it, like this looks pretty damn good this week. It's more your money houses that I see you having a lot of trepidation and fear about. You actually have some tricky cards. And again, the tarot cards are on a weekly basis. This energy will very likely change, especially when this Empress kind of takes hold and you start loving yourself more and allow yourself to go after those big things in life you want to pursue. It takes a little bit of determination. It takes a little bit of telling yourself that you can, and then boom, hopes and dreams and wishes come true. Love that that's coming up. In your house of money, though, and also your daily routine, the services you provide at work, you have 5s. So 5s are tricky, but ultimately they are necessary. The same way I was talking about like your dating life, you may have been in some sort of soul contract or karmic contract where you outgrew it. You realized you were barking up the wrong tree. You were chasing a person who loved the thrill of the chase but didn't have the same intentions. Sort of what this is a humbling lesson, but ultimately it's going to allow you to see what you were missing before so that you can move past it. In fact, these are in the, let me reverse these. Whenever I see this card, I always see San Francisco. I think it's the bridge. And I mean, granted, it could be a lot of places. You know, that bridge may mean something to you. Maybe it's New York. Maybe it's, I don't know, fill in the blank. Something about this always says San Francisco to me, though. Every time I see it, I hear it. It's so funny. So anyway, that'll mean something to a few of you out there. Five of Cups, it's something has been lost, but there is something to be gained from this. It's just a matter of, again, opening yourself up to see it. We can linger on the spilt milk, but we're never going to get it back. So we have to either salvage what's left, which is right there, those Two of Cups, or we have to quite literally change our focus, change our position, change our perspective to see, you know what, something beautiful did come of this. It may have defied my expectations at first, but not all is lost here, but it's all a matter of you connecting to what is emotionally fulfilling versus the complete opposite. What is pulling at your heartstrings and making you feel that sense of lack? Again, this is a card that says it's up to you. It's up to you how long you want to linger in this, oh, everything is lost, life is pointless, versus, oh, okay, so the universe is telling me no, not that one, but here's what I can do with that knowledge or with that information. And this is coming up in a money house too, so this may or may not be relationship related. This may also have to do with your self-worth. Overly focusing on the negative or the shadow side, or always focusing on what you don't like about yourself versus the things you do love about yourself. Eventually, again, you're going to make that transition where the positive far outweighs the negative, but I just see some of you grappling with that this week, especially in terms of needing to present yourself to a company or sell yourself at a job interview. There's kind of a lot of fear and clutter it's just taking up space in your head, and the thing is, it's not really helping you. So in a healthy, cathartic way, it's time to kind of let go of those thoughts that they're just not useful anymore. They're not necessarily true, or they're holding you back. And so you're kind of being asked to show up this week, and I'm almost seeing like a boxer, like a Rocky Balboa, like fighting your way in and building up that confidence. Like, yeah, I got this. Like giving yourself a little pep talk, right? For a lot of you, it seems like there's a heavy competition for some sort of role that you're desiring, or some sort of title or position or salary. It does feel a little bit cutthroat this week at work, like every man out for himself. It also seems like there's this is a less aggravated message, but there's difficulty in connecting or collaborating with people because of the whole 6 feet apart social distance thing. It's like everybody wants to get in there and get their hands dirty and help the team out, and yet there's all these obstacles that are not allowing us to do our job in the most efficient way. So, I mean, again, what about that is in your control? Do the best you can given the circumstances, but it's, you know, rather than like pounding on a brick wall, you just kind of have to accept there's a brick wall there, so this is how we're going to do it, right? A reasonable sense of when to release control and just kind of embrace what is and make the most of it. I think that's going to help you get by a lot this week. And don't project your thoughts, don't project fear onto scenarios that haven't panned out yet. If you're telling yourself, oh, it's never going to work out, this person doesn't like me, I didn't get the job, well, your mind is very powerful. Those thoughts that you believe and think and manifest, that's what's going to come into fruition. So you may as well, in a sense, fake it till you make it, in terms of everything is great, everything is beautiful, you know, I crushed that interview, I showed up, I was my authentic self, I have a great body of knowledge and skills and to contribute, and, you know, I'm a wonderful coworker, you know, all that kind of positive reinforcement, that's going to ease the tension of whatever this is. Again, it's not going to go away overnight, I'm sure, you know, I don't mean to minimize that, because obviously it's something you guys are struggling with, but again, you have to start somewhere. If you're overwhelmed by all these things, start small, start one piece at a time, and what is in your control? What do you have control over? Maybe that's a good piece to start on. This whole spread is about confidence this week. Your life is only going to be more focused in the limelight, in the public light. So again, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm telling you, with the eclipse season, there's a huge pull away from staying inside, in the house, in the safety of the comfort zone, drawn back in private. Like there's a lot, you are being launched into the public. So especially if you're doing anything online, your website may get a ton of hits, or especially something online or in large social groups, it's like you're becoming the star. So if you work in arts and entertainment, well, hey, that sounds great, doesn't it? I think money will follow. There's a project you've been working on and you don't feel it's quite right yet. So I think you guys are holding back on launching it because you still need to fine tune it. there's still a little bit of, I've been saying this a lot, there's a little finessing that needs to go on, a little zhuzhing, as they say. If you want it to make the biggest bang for the buck, or have the greatest reception, or however you want to say it, presenting something publicly, I think a lot of you're keeping it in the background because there's something about it, you're like, it's almost there, but not quite there, and you're right. There's something else you need to, again, it's not deconstructing it all, it's retooling it ever so slightly. And when you do that, then there's going to be more success. Interesting. A lot of you, this has to do with, it's not so much adding more, it's taking away, which I know is an odd message, but it's like, I like this, but I'm trying to look at it from a different angle. What about this? What about that? And you're like, something just isn't quite right, but I can't put my finger on it. A lot of you guys are going to go back to work and restructure it. Only the thing is, for most of you, of course, it's not about adding more per se. Again, it's about editing. But for a lot of you, it's about taking something away to make it better versus adding more. That's very important. Yeah, less is more. Less is more. I'm hearing that this week. All right. Virgos, that's what I got for you. I hope this was helpful to some of you. I hope lots of this resonated. Let me know in the comments below if it does. Remember to like the video, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I am going to announce the winners of the free tarot giveaway right now. What's up, guys? Super excited to announce the winners of the free tarot giveaway. Congratulations to Michelle, Kristen, Jennifer, and Joe. Thank you guys for entering the contest. I'm already in talks with them about their tarot reading. Thanks for being a part of Team Teacup. And thank you additionally to everyone who submitted their entry, everybody who left those really fun, beautiful comments. I loved reading through them. And doing this competition tarot giveaway was so much fun for me. I definitely plan to do more in the future. So if you didn't win this one, definitely show up to the next one and submit your entry. Details on that to be determined sometime in the future. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of my soul tribe. And I look forward to interacting with you guys more here on my channel on YouTube.